Welcome to Booze on the Rocks. My name is David Edwards, and it's great to have you here today. It's time to grab your significant other, and we're going to have a little bit of Hanky Panky. And this cocktail is fantastic. It's a simple 3-ingredient cocktail that's absolutely easy to make, and it's got some fantastic little notes you might not be thinking about. Now, having said this, this was originally created by Ada Coleman. Now, she is the first ever female head bartender of the American bar in the Savoy Hotel. And this is at the turn of the 20th century. And at that time, she was making cocktails for a lot of people, and Sir Charles Hawtrey came in and said he wanted something with a little bit of punch in it. Now, she created this cocktail, and he said, by Jove, that's the real Hanky Panky. And that's where the name came from this. So it's got some fantastic history to it, and it's a cocktail that is still served today. Now, when you talk about the ingredients, we have to start with a little bit of a London dry gin. I'm using a little bit of Heretic spirits. Now, this is 47% ABV, alcohol by volume. You also need a little bit of sweet vermouth. Now, I'm using a little bit of Martini Rossi, and this is 15%. I need glasses, ABV. And of course, you need our favorite, a little bit of Fernet-Branca. Now this is 39% ABV. So there's quite a little bit of kick to this cocktail. Now, the good thing is it's stirred. So grab your stirring vessel and you're gonna start with your gin. Now what we are going to start with is a total of 1.5 ounces or 45 mils. Your second ingredient is of course your sweet vermouth. Now I'm using a Martini Rossi. Leave a comment down below and tell me what gin, what sweet vermouth you would use to make your perfect version of the Hanky Panky. And would you actually modify any of the ingredients, the ratios, to kind of get something you really like? Please share below because I'd love to see the conversation. Now you're going to use the same amount of 1.5 ounces or 45 milliliters. Your third ingredient, of course, is the Fernet-Branca. Now that'll give you some interesting herbal notes, which will really add complex depth of flavor to the cocktail, at least in my not so humble opinion. Now, having said that, you don't need a lot of this. You just need about 2 dashes, which is 2 mils. So that's just under half a bar spoon. If you do not have a fancy dasher, take a straw. You're just going to insert it, put your hand on or your finger on the top, and you're just going to dump it in. Once you've added your Fernet-Branca, we're going to put some ice in the glass. Now you want some solid ice, and you want to fill this up about 2/3 of the way, or just sort of a nice little, apparently 2/3 of the way takes multiple efforts for me. I'm struggling so hard today to get you a very good cocktail. However, what we are going to do now is stir this for a good 30 seconds or so. And what you want to do is, of course, just stir this until you get the right dilution and temperature that you're looking for. And if you're going to have a hard time stirring like I just did, flip it over, use a teardrop end, and it becomes really easy to stir. David's had quite the day, so I'm glad I get to share this cocktail with you and your significant other. So what you're going to do now is you're going to grab yourself your julep strainer, and what we're going to do is serve this in an up style, and this is a nice little coupe here. Now this is a 6-ounce coupe, but you could use a 4-ounce coupe if you want. 4 ounces, 120 mils, 6 ounces is 180. Look at this, absolutely gorgeous. So now what we're going to do is garnish this with a nice twisted orange peel like so, and here you have the Hanky Panky. Look at that color, absolutely gorgeous. I would easily call this an 8 out of 10. So immediately I get a little bit of gin, and I get that little bit of something more, which is really intriguing. This is good. You can get the sweet vermouth, the gin just underlies everything, and you get some subtle notes from the Fernet-Branca. It is not overpowering. Easily an 8 out of 10. And if you like cocktails like this, take a look after the recipe card right over here.